What up, guys? So I'm going to share with you how I've kept my times consistent. But first, we're going to finish this food. It's hitting. So I have some pretty solid times in the 800. They're not world class, but they're pretty much above average and average, I guess you could say. But I'm going to share with you some knowledge and wisdom that I've received along the way to help me with my journey. Key is trusting the Lord, is being patient, is having great community, doing the same workouts, tweaking it up with the weaknesses that you need to work on, being consistent with a program that has jumps, sprints, distance, and race modeling. You got to trust your training and believe in yourself. So in my off season, I haven't changed much. I do about 30 to 45 miles a week, depending on the week. So let's jump into this weekly mileage example. Say for instance, I want to run 45 miles per week. I'm not just going to jump out there week one and run 45 miles per week just to avoid the risk of getting an injury. So I break my mileage down into percentages. So for week one, I'm going to take my 45 miles per week times 0.65%, and I get 29.25 miles per week. The following week, I'm going to increase it by 5%, and I get 31.5 miles per week. The following week, I increase it by another 5%, and I get 33.75 miles per week. On week 4, I'm going to go back down to 50% and use this as a recovery week, and I go 22.5 miles per week. Weekly mileage example part 2, we're going to be using the same concepts as we used in the last example. We're in week 5 now, and we're going to be starting at 80%. So we're going to take our 45 miles per week and multiply it into 0.80, and we're going to get 36 miles per week. We're going to increase it by another 5% in the next week, and we're going to get 38.25 miles per week. We're going to increase it another 5% in the next week, and we're going to get 40.5 miles per week. In week 8, we're going to go back down to 50% and use it as a recovery week, and we're only going to be running 22.75 miles per week. Weekly mileage example part 3. We are now in week 9. We multiply our 45 miles per week into 90%, and we get 40.5 miles per week. In week 10, we increase it by 5%, and we get 42.75 miles per week. In week 11, we're now at our max, and we get 45 miles per week. In week 12, we go back down to 50%, and we got 22.75 miles per week. So I use Excel spreadsheet to journal everything. I journal the months, the days, how I felt that day, my races, the different phases of training, the miles per week, just everything. I find it easier to use Excel spreadsheet because you could just go back and look and see what you did versus searching a whole bunch of pages that you journaled in, writing stuff down. But to each its own. If you want to journal it, then that's fine. But just make sure you write stuff down and keep up with it so you'll know what you're doing. So with all that distance running, you gotta have speed too. You can't just go out there running slow every day. You gotta work those other muscle fibers as well. You gotta have a balance of speed and endurance. The distance training for me gives me the endurance to handle a lot of reps of sprinting. It also gives me the benefit of recovering faster. So man, I pretty much train like a sprinter, even though I'm a distance runner, mid-distance runner or whatever. But I do workouts like max velocity, which is like 30 meters to 60 meter all-out sprints. I do speed endurance, special endurance, whatever sprinting you want to name, tempo workouts, intensive tempo, extensive tempo, blah, blah, blah. All those are needed for the 800 meters anyway, so that's what we do. And also hill sprints are important as well. I also make sure I run over them wickets at least once a week. Some may call them mini hurdles, but don't neglect them wickets. I also use a series of jumping and plyometrics to stay explosive. Staying explosive is needed for sprinting. Be explosive to turn it up whenever you get to kick at the end. You just got to be able to turn it on real quick, and that's what jumps does for me. My favorite ones are box jumps and the Superman box jumps, and I like doing the plyometrics on the football field where you just pretty much doing cycles and stuff, like the triple jumpers, bounds. Left, left, right, 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 left, 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 right, 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 cycle, 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 frog hops, bunny hops. Just being explosive.